Yesterday, I asked you, you're not a real alpha male until you blink. Here are your most sigma answers. You're not a real alpha until you go, ay, ay, ay. I have no idea what that means, but alright. That's something. That's definitely something I have heard alpha males do. You're not a real alpha male until your mommy lets you stay up until 10:30. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my mommy only lets me stay up till 10 p.m., so I guess I'm not an alpha male. Oops. You're not a real alpha male until you take estrogen. Oh yeah, you know, beta males try to overcompensate for the fact that they're so beta. So we take like testosterone to be strong alpha male. But alpha males, they're so alpha that you need to take it down a notch so that beta males can really comprehend us as alpha males, Very, very, very important thing that they don't really tell you about alpha males. Eating a big bowl of these alpha bits. Okay, so I have a confession to make. When I was little, I used to watch Martha Speaks, right? That was like a big show on PBS Kids. And I liked the concept of the dog eating alphabet soup and then, learning how to speak. And it made me really want alphabet themed food. Problem is, though, is I'm autistic and very picky eater. And so I'm not really that big a fan of tomato soup. And that's the only kind that alphabet soup came in.
Brother,
But then I moved to Canada. And that's when alphabets were really common. I don't know if it's a thing in the States because I never saw it there. But in Canada, alphabets is like a big thing. So I got the experience of ingesting the alphabet. And that's why I talk too much. You're not a real alpha male until you learn how to love like Peter, laugh like Cleveland, be wise like Quagmire, dance like Joe. Amen. Amen. No comment. You're not a real alpha male until you watch the Big Bong scene without crying. I watched a movie in theaters when I was 10. And yeah, there was this big wave of silence after Bing Bong died. It's funny because some of the kids are like, what just happened? Like, I kind of knew because, like I said, I was 10. I knew what dying was. But some of the littler kids in the theater were like, that just happened. Well, like, all the older people were like, so up in their eyes out. Average Pixar experience. You're not a real alpha male until you get kicked out of the Applebee's for causing a scene. Yes. Applebee's drama, Have you ever had like a normal Applebee's experience? Because every time I've been to an Applebee's as a kid, it's either we see some people causing a scene or we're the family that's being embarrassing. Not me. Mostly it was my cousin being a goober. But it was still really funny. I think the only time I've had a normal Applebee's trip was that one time I went like 4 years ago. And that was still technically COVID, right? So there weren't a lot of people there to cause a scene. But when you're in a crowded Applebee's, you know it's going to be lit. You're not a real alpha male until you loudly explain a joke. The joke here is that you're not supposed to explain jokes because you'll be seen as the actually lying, and you're not an alpha male until you remove your bottom 2 ribs. Pull the old Marilyn Manson there, I see. You're not a real alpha male until you bullied children on Roblox. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, can we have a moment of silence? In the past few months, Roblox has added this age verification feature. And it basically has it so that if you are over a certain age, you can't talk to people under a certain age. Which means that adults and older teenagers can no longer bully kids on Roblox. What is the world coming to? You know, I don't bully kids on Roblox because I'm not an alpha male. But how are these people supposed to prove themselves as the alpha? You're not a real alpha male until you fight my 7 evil exes. Oh yeah, they're all so evil. They might seem totally normal, but they're actually really evil. Because, you know, I'm not the problem. They are the problem because they're stinky betas or omegas
Brother,
or whatever. You're not a real alpha male until you fold a fitted sheet. You know, I've never met somebody who has done this before. Never. Not in my life. Everyone I met who I have seen fold a fitted sheet struggled. I guess they're not alpha material. You're not a real alpha male until you pass kidney stones in one sitting. And now, I'm not talking about like the 1 millimeter in diameter ones. I'm gonna say you have to be at least an inch in diameter, you know. You're not a real alpha male until you pee sitting down and somehow miss. Well, looks like I know a cat who is an alpha male. Because my cat Coco is an idiot. He doesn't go in the litter box. So one time, we were cleaning a mess he made because he went right next to the litter box. And then he had to go to the bathroom again. So he was standing in the litter box, put up his leg, and he still missed. So I'm pretty sure my cat's an alpha male, and I don't know how to feel about that. There is a cat here, but he's not the same cat. You're not a real alpha male. Oh, hi. Yeah, this is my cat Bramble, not Coco. He is good at the litter box, so he's not an alpha male, for better or for worse. Say hi. Say hi to Yai. He has no idea what's going on. You're not a real alpha male until you put down the yogurt. 15 signs you're a yogurt male. Super rare, and is it better for an alpha? I don't know. So, those were your answers. Jack was right. They're awful. So, I have a question for you. For the council. That was a question I was going to ask, exactly. Thank you, Bramble, you spoke for me. But, to translate, can I host a Yai, please?
Leave your answers in the comments below. I'll pick my favorites in the next episode of Yai.